Lynn with Psychic Focus at psychicfocus.blogspot.com, and today's post is titled Ego, to Embrace or Release. And I thought this was a great question because many of us, including myself, battle with finding a balance with ego. It's just a part of who we are, but the big thing is to recognize different aspects of ego. So I'll get right to the question. It says, many philosophers regard the letting go of the ego as an ultimate goal of life, but at the same time, isn't it the ego that incites us to engage and invest in the physical world, which in turn is responsible for our spiritual evolution? So if we all denounced our ego, we wouldn't learn anything from our physical world. So what it all boils down to is, how can you tell a sound and healthy engagement and emotional investment in our physical world if such a thing at all is possible from a negative ditto where you become locked up in feelings of anger or grief tied to the physical world? So really, is your ego serving you or is it not? And really how to handle ego. That's what this is about. And it's true that ego can be your friend and it can be your enemy, and sometimes both. Ego drives us in the physical 3D world to better ourselves in certain ways. There is success, there's also greed. Sometimes ego is tied to giving you that fortitude, giving you that push, giving you the grit. All those kind of things, they come from ego. But there's also emotions that come from ego. You have things like fear, you have worry about failure, you have thoughts about judgment, success, accomplishments. So there's good and bad all assigned to this ego. It can hold you back, but it can also help you propel. So in looking at this, letting go of ego enables for greater spiritual evolution, because the fear, judgment, rational mind, that monkey mind that we always have going on in our head, it is gone. If you can let go of that and not worry about your ego, you can elevate yourself to be more spiritually open. And I got that if you are able to let go and replace some of those low vibe emotions with feelings of maybe love or being humble and gratitude, if you can do that, those things help you ascend. But ego, like everything else, you need to handle it in balance. We're spiritual beings living in a 3D world. And I say that a lot because it's so true. That is what we're doing. And so to battle ego and know when to dismiss it, it's so important. And that's part of our development. And it's why we're here. So it's as if we have this ego that's part of our being, helps you do great things, but can also hold you back. But the challenge of our 3D world is to understand how to balance that out, how to let go when you need to, how to use it to your advantage, how to keep everything in harmony so you are your best self and you are doing what's in the greater good for you. And an example that came to me when I was thinking about this question is, ego can make you competitive. It makes you want to be better. You can use ego to your advantage to want to maybe improve yourself. But if you're honest and you try, and in doing so, and you're doing these things to be better, you may fail, because that's also part of life. It's part of our lessons. It's part of our path, is to fail, see how you deal with that failure, and then move forward. Learn from that. Learn from your mistakes. And so that's where it's important. You have to let go of ego. You have to forgive yourself. You have to see and use that to your benefit to move forward and not let that ego take over and hold you back. And so, even though it can be positive, it can also be one of those things that you have to put aside in order to grow. And that's part of our challenge here. And like I had said before, so in our 3D world, finding that balance, that's really the ultimate goal of our life. That's the ultimate goal of being here, is to find balance, to learn, to grow, and expand through experience. That's exactly the primal thing for most people here having a journey on earth. You're still following your path, you're completing your lessons, you are spiritually evolving, and without the challenge of ego, you would be missing something with that. So both the 3D and the spiritual aspects of our being are important in this evolutionary process, and that's what I think some philosophers don't realize the importance of that. So ego is important. Finding the balance of ego, that's even more important. And that's really all I had for this reading. I hope that made sense and it wasn't too confusing. Please feel free to leave a comment. Like me, share me, pass me along. All of that helps me a lot. And again, I'm Lynn with Psychic Focus at psychicfocus.blogspot.com. Thank you. Bye.